test drive and review of this brand new 2025 Ford Expedition. $1,000 for a fully loaded. You have the biggest wheels ever fitted on the Expedition, 24-inch alloy wheel. Now you have split tailgate design. What have they done with the steering wheel? With the digital gauge clusters, it moves forward to backward, revealing some space. Suspension is different, providing 10.6 inch of ground clearance. It's much better than it was before in the previous generation. Good afternoon everyone and welcome to Roman Rides channel. Today I'm featuring a quick test drive and review of this brand new 2025 Ford Expedition. I'm going to review the Platinum trim and I'm going to review the Tremor trim. So let's go. So 2025 Expedition Platinum. Let's start from the price. So this is the fully loaded Expedition Platinum. The price tag $90,990. This is including $14,000 package, which is called Platinum Ultimate Package, almost $14,000 on top of the regular Platinum trim, which is $74,430. So basically $91,000 for a fully loaded 2025 Expedition, not Max. This is the standard wheelbase. Now we have the Tremor 2025 Expedition Tremor, which replaced the Timberline. So Tremor, aside from having the same technical aspects, right, and aside from the power output, which is higher here. So instead of 400 horsepower there, it's 440. So it's more powerful. It's got a rear locker, same 2-speed transfer case, no massaging seats. It's $83,000. $83,000 and meaty tires. So let's take a look at this vehicle from exterior perspective. From exterior perspective, basically this is the same platform as it was before, the same platform that was used for a previous generation Ford Expedition. And so the overall length is 5.3 meters. So the wheelbase really differs if you're gonna buy a regular or Max. So the wheelbase is around 3,100 millimeters and the overall length is 5,300 millimeters for regular wheelbase and regular lengths, and for Max is respectively 5,600 millimeters and 3,300 millimeters for a wheelbase. So basically it's the same, the basically plus minus the same as it was before, same platform, same engines. This is second generation 3.5 V6 twin turbocharged EcoBoost engine with a chain-driven camshafts. What else we have? Obviously from exterior perspective, I already started the technical specs. From exterior perspective, you have the new front fascia, new headlights, no fog lights here, but you have fog lights on the Tremor version, 360 camera, parking sensors. And unfortunately, I don't see, even though this is the top trim Platinum plus Ultimate Platinum package, you don't see lenses. So you don't see projector style headlights, unfortunately just reflector style headlights. I think for this amount of money, you're paying like almost 91 grand basically. I would like to see a projector style LED lights, but nonetheless still you have full LED lights all around, 360 camera, you have massaging seats, and I'm gonna show you that in just a second. And most importantly, you have the biggest wheels ever fitted on the Expedition, 24-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Goodyear. It is 285 by 40 R24. Obviously, it's 6 lug nuts. It's body on frame. You have keyless access and all doors. And the major departure from the previous generation is a split tailgate design. So now you have split tailgate design. You have 2 buttons in the cabin. You can open this upper part separately from the lower part. So let's start from this Platinum model. So obviously, it's power operated seats. Yeah, but it's power foldable. You cannot put them up, unfortunately, using these buttons. What you can put up, the third row is power operated. So you have a reclining option. When sitting there, you'll have additional buttons to recline the seats for your family, for your friends, whoever. So it's a nice amount of cargo space here. So we have something here, quality issues. Oh yeah, it was not, now it's snapped completely and clicked, so it's not an issue anymore. 12-volt power outlet, and then you have a household power outlet. You have LED lights, you have hooks and tie downs, you have Expedition carpets, and you have some organizer here with your jack stand, sorry, not the stand. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can close this one. In the Max, you have more cargo space, obviously, so you don't want to compromise anything. Then you should buy a Max version. So you see a split tailgate, very interesting design here. Captain chairs, the second row, the third row. I have already sat there, and I would like to say that it's enough space even for me. I'm 6.2 tall, and obviously by clicking this button, it provides easier access to the third row for your family. You have 2 cup holders, you have USB Type-Cs, 2 of them, 2 cup holders for each person sitting on the edge of this seat, and reclining seats, obviously. It's a 3-zone climate control. You can slide the seat backwards and forwards. Obviously, you have the access to the third row. A climate control, you have heated seats, but no ventilated seats for the second row passengers. And this block with clock and everything else is taken directly from, early 2000s. That's my impression. You have map pockets, you have additional USB Type-C ports down there, you have perforated leather, heated, but again, not ventilated. But it's very nice. You have white ceiling, no sunshades here, no soft closing doors, no air suspension, no adaptive dampers. But you have deployable running boards, very nice. Power operated seats, ventilated seats, heated seats, platinum badge, and you have massaging seats because this is the ultimate package, which costs $14,000. Obviously, you should have something when you're paying that money. You have memory positions, but memory seat positions integrated in the infotainment system. Unfortunately, they're not somewhere here with easy access. You have power folded mirrors, you have all automatic up and down windows, you have the same handle to unlock and open the door and lock the door. Music system, infotainment, audio system, powered by Bang & Olufsen. You have door sills which say Platinum. And this is where Lincoln Navigator actually differs. Lincoln Navigator has silver-like, metal-like ornament around the buttons, but this one is just simple plastic buttons here. So getting inside, what I immediately notice is that what have they done with the steering wheel, with the digital gauge cluster? So now you have flat button, flat top. You don't have a power operated button to operate the power operated steering column and steering wheel, obviously. So how do you do that? So they eliminated some of those buttons, and now the buttons to operate the pedals, to bring them closer to you or further from you, you have to use this kind of touch capacitive buttons. So you see, whatever you're doing here, it is being displayed here. So by putting your fingers here, you see what are going to change, either the volume of the music, or let's say you can change the power steering wheel. So you click that, and then you have buttons to put it down, put it up, and then retract it or deploy it back. So it's power steering, telescoping wheel. Then you have Blue Cruise available for 1 year. It's autonomous driving on a number of highways in the US, not all highways, obviously. And the most controversial part of this design, I would say, because they eliminated the heads-up display. Now you don't have the heads-up display. That's why they pushed the screen closer to the windshield. And the drawback of that, maybe it's not a drawback for you. And I'm 6.2, actually I'm sitting like that, so my view is like that. You see, the steering wheel does not block the display. That was the main idea why they did what they did with that. So they eliminated the heads up. There's no need for a heads up display if you have fully adjusted the steering wheel, the sitting position, so that it doesn't block. So ideally the steering wheel stays lower, and it is very convenient. I have already driven this car. I'd like to say it is comfortable, not a problem driving like that. So you have grab handles here, you have white ceiling, obviously, power foldable mirrors, and fully automatically operated window switches up and down. You have start stop button there, And now you have the new infotainment system, which is heavily based on Android Automotive, which means you have a lot of Google services. So basically you can log into your Google account, use your Google Voice Assistant, Alexa, Google Maps, Google Profiles, Play Market to download some applications for this vehicle. It is 10-speed automatic transmission, which is controlled by this rotary dial, rotary knob. You have some hard buttons. So the only hard buttons you have: the volume control, the start-stop defeat button, parking sensor, sound, your hazard lights, 360 camera, which is, I would say the resolution is not that great. It is a bit grainy. It's not super crisp like in German competitors, for example, but it's decent, I would say. Different views and angles, like for trailering. This has a specific Trailer Pro package, which allows you to monitor and navigate your trailer while backing up with the trailer. You have trailer brake controller available here. Trailer disconnected, it says now. Full digital gauge cluster. So some information you have there on the left screen is your speeds, as well as traffic signs recognition, your driver assistant package. Obviously, it's automatic braking, lane departure warning, lane centering, blind spot monitoring zone is available there, parking sensors all around. In your trailer, once again, you have the lid to close to cover this area, wireless charger, USB Type-C, Type-A, 2 cup holders. One of the new features, new additions for 2025 is that you have this flex console. You can see, so basically it moves forward to backward, revealing some space for your pouch, your handbag, whatever you can put down there, and then close this completely. Not only it does that, but it also provides more knee room and leg room, especially here for people sitting in the second row, captain chairs, for example. At the same time, you still have this cubby here. It's a lot of space available there. 2 additional USB Type-C ports. Ford Expedition saying there. The screen is decent size. It's not a Lincoln Navigator having this huge screen from pillar to pillar. It's kind of different, and I really like this low-key version, you know, like a simplified version, like half of the length of what Lincoln provides in the 2025 Navigator. And the steering wheel, they try to simplify and eliminate some of the buttons. At the same time, it is not convenient. And what is not convenient, you cannot easily and quickly adjust the steering wheel, right, up or down, or deploy it or retract it. So you have to go through this half capacitive, half touch buttons and select this or select that. For example, you want to turn on headlights or put them in automatic mode, or like turn them off, for example. You have to go to the display, you have to click lighting, you have to put them in auto mode, or you have to have like the standing lights, for example, you know, stuff like that. It's not very convenient, but you have the 2 buttons here in the infotainment screen. You have the tailgate open, just the upper part of both parts. It's 3-zone climate control. It is ventilated and heated seats, and also you have massaging seats, so you can operate your seat for additional bolster support and lumbar support, as well as different type of massages. This is what this ultimate package gives you, along with 24-inch alloy wheels. So it's a fully equipped, nicely loaded vehicle. I would say it's comfortable. The seats are pretty wide for different, you know, type of bodies, obviously. So I really like the additional shoulder support. So sitting here is very nice. Obviously, it's a step forward compared to the previous generation. And let's talk about technical specs. So from technical specs, this is the same 3.5 twin turbocharged V6 producing 400 horsepower in base configuration output, and then 440 horsepower for the Tremor Edition. The Tremor Edition on top of 2-speed transfer case, because this Platinum and other 4x4 models, they have 2-speed transfer case. It's on-demand all-wheel drive. It's not like full-time, it's part-time all-wheel drive. You have 2 high, 4 automatic, which means 4x4 automatically, basically engaging the front axle when it's needed during acceleration, slip, or whatever other conditions. 4 high, and then you have 4 low. Additionally, you have drive modes: sports, slippery, tow haul, normal, standard, and off-road. Off-road, I'm not sure about off-road because this vehicle does not feature air suspension, does not feature adaptive dampers. The Tremor, on the opposite side, has the same all-wheel drive configuration, plus on top of that you get a rear axle locker. So and plus you get more ground clearance. So let me show you what the Tremor is. So now you know the pricing, now you know the technical specs, now you know how the cabin looks like, and I'm gonna take it for a quick drive. So Tremor really differs. It is black. First of all, you have contrast stitching, you have black headliner, you have the same panoramic sunroof, which you can open up completely. Captain chairs, the same power operated third row seats. You don't have massaging seats here. The wheels are 18-inch alloy wheels. It is AT all-terrain. It is general grabber. It is 275 by 70 R18s rear locker, but now you have more ground clearance because the front suspension is different and rear suspension is different, providing 10.6 inch of ground clearance compared to 8.7 with the general 4x4 vehicles like Platinum and other trims. Additionally, this car has a heavy-duty cooling system and heavy-duty alternator, and so basically from the visual standpoint, it is the same car. Also no projector style headlight, just LED but reflector style. What else we have? The Tremor badging, all around 360 camera as well. Power operated seats. They are perforated and ventilated. And it is $83,000 or $90,000, almost $91 for the Platinum model. So let's take it for a drive and then let's sum it up. Driving 2025 Ford Expedition Platinum. So this is the top trim, fully loaded, all-wheel drive, 2-speed transfer case, 10-speed automatic. It is very unusual to drive this vehicle using this steering wheel, which is flat top, flat bottom. This is the classic prime example of what 3-row American SUV is. Body and frame, 3.5 turbocharged second generation V6 EcoBoost, producing 400 horsepower, which is quite a lot, I would say. This is not the highest output available. The high output version is available in 2025 Tremor, which I have already shown you 5 minutes ago. So let's talk about it. From technical standpoint, nothing has really changed. So this is the same platform. It's T3 or T03 platform, which is body and frame slightly shared with, in terms of engines and transmission, with Ford F-150 pickup truck. In terms of towing capacity, it's 8,600 pounds, which is quite a lot. It basically tows the same amount as Ford F-150. Yeah, it pulls really nice. Pulls very nice. Easily. I mean, the amount of power and torque is just incredible. That's why you have double chargers, twin turbocharger. In Tremor, you have 440 horsepower, even more than here. 2-speed transfer case and rear locker. Rear locker is not available on this Platinum trim. So even though there is no adaptive dampers, there is no air suspension, and I have to say that unfortunately the 2025 Lincoln Navigator doesn't feature air suspension. So neither Ford nor Lincoln, when you say Lexus, feature air suspension, and I think would be nice to have this option. For example, like Chevy Suburban, they do have on their Z71 and high country models, they do feature air suspension, but it's not available here. In terms of handling, I have noticed immediately that this SUV is really quiet in the cabin. I think they have insulated the cabin much better than the previous generation. This is the highlight of this new generation vehicle compared to the previous generation. Engine-wise, and engine-wise, it is pretty much the same. Yeah, the growl down low, the RPM is very noticeable. Very nice. And the steering wheel is not the best in class. Obviously, it's a bit gimmicky, but at the same time, this is my sitting position. I'm 6.2, so you see the upper part of the steering wheel doesn't block my access, my view of the digital gauge cluster. That was the idea behind pushing the display down, not down, but farther away to the windshield. So now you don't have to have a heads-up display. That's why they came up with this idea of this flat button, flat top steering wheel. Very comfortable ride. Because of body and frame, you feel this, the lean, you know, rock and peach. It's like a lanyard, and the competition is really tough in this class. I think Ford does a really great job offering great riding vehicle, but the price is $90,000 for this fully loaded Platinum, which is quite a big chunk of change. What do you think, guys? I really like. I tested the previous generation. It's like a lanyard for me, but they're very similar, like Chevy Suburban, Chevy Tahoe, Ford Expedition, Jeep Grand Wagoneer or Wagoneer. This has more torque than 6.2 V8 in General Motors vehicles. And the cabin insulation, oh my god, it's much better than it was before in the previous generation. The only noise you're hearing right now is the AC running. So very pleasant and very cushy and softly sprung suspension, which is very expected in this class of vehicle, right? This is why you buy these vehicles. You want a cushy ride, you want a quiet cabin, you want a lot of space, and you want some tech. So Ford did a great job. But some questions around, you know, the architecture and layout of the steering wheel shape, and how they actually position the screen. So aside from that, it is the same Expedition. I have test driven this vehicle just slightly around the block, and I would like to say this vehicle is definitely quieter than the previous generation. It's quieter in terms of technology, it's a step forward, but the only controversial question I have about the steering wheel and the digital gauge cluster. So basically they have revised the architecture of that panel, and let me know in the comment section what do you think about that. So I would really prefer, to be honest, like a regular screen configuration right behind the wheel, keeping the heads-up display there as well, because you see this part is really looks a bit cheaper, you know, it's like a stick shift cars, you know, from 90s, early 2000s. They have like this kind of leather boot around the shifter actually. So it doesn't look good for a $91,000 vehicle. But that's just my impression. That's just me. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about these guys. So it is peppy. 400 horsepower is more than enough. The torque is greater than 6.2 V8 natural aspirated in General Motors vehicles. The design is very subjective item, but I think it looks good. Looks very, very familiar to those Expedition owners who had the previous generation. This is the 5th generation. So overall, it's a great vehicle, but I don't think there is something really special that makes this vehicle stand out of the pack. But let me know on the comment section, guys. What do you think? What would you buy and what would you prefer in this class? GM, Jeep, or Ford? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.